Chairman, distinguished delegates and leaders of civil groups, I am Taue Tomihisa, Mayor of Nagasaki. I'd like to express my respect to all of those who worked tirelessly to organize this conference and would like to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you all. In Japan, today happens to be August 6th, the day when the first atomic bomb in human history was dropped on Hiroshima. Just 3 days after, a second bomb was dropped on Nagasaki. The bomb produced intense heat, a powerful blast, and radiation. It instantly reduced the city where people lived to ruins. By the end of that year, around 210,000 precious lives in the two cities were lost. Those who barely managed to survive suffered from the after effects of radiation exposure and faced discrimination and prejudice from society. However, they have continued to share their painful memories out of their strong commitment to realize a world without nuclear weapons. Over the years, the Hibakusha's wish to never let anyone in the world go through the same suffering has resonated throughout the world, raising awareness of the inhumanity of nuclear weapons. I believe this has prevented another Hiroshima and Nagasaki from happening for the past 77 years. Nevertheless, decades of effort can be undone if just one nuclear weapon state decides to use all of its power to tyrannize other states. We were subjected to such a risk when Russia implied the use of nuclear weapons during the Ukraine invasion. More convinced than ever before, I hereby make the following appeal to every state, including the nuclear weapon states. Nuclear weapons must never be used. Abolition is the only way for humanity to avoid the dangers of nuclear weapons. As reaffirmed in the final document of the first meeting of states parties to the Treaty on the Prohibition of Nuclear Weapons, the NPT and the TPNW reinforce in each other, and together they are both integral to the realization of a world without nuclear weapons. The Mayors for Peace, with its 8,200 member cities from 166 countries and regions, will endeavor to increase momentum towards the abolition of nuclear weapons. We will do so by working together with countries promoting the TPNW, United Nations, and NGOs to cultivate a public sentiment that will lead to more states parties to the TPNW and ensure its effectiveness. Furthermore, we, as a part of civil society, will create an environment that will enable nuclear weapon states to work on nuclear disarmament and will facilitate steady efforts toward the abolition of nuclear weapons. I sincerely hope that during this conference, the states parties will reaffirm agreements made in past conferences, carry out the obligation described in Article 6 to pursue negotiations in good faith towards nuclear disarmament, and propose concrete strategies to ensure progress in nuclear disarmament and non-proliferation measures. Lastly, I'd like to impart the following message. May Nagasaki be the last wartime atomic bombing site. Hiroshima will forever remain the first wartime atomic bombing site. However, whether Nagasaki will remain the last wartime atomic bombing site depends on the future that we create. I'd like to close my statement by sharing this message and by expressing our commitment to continue striving for a world without nuclear weapons in hopes that there will never be a third wartime atomic bombing site. Thank you.